Good morning. Welcome to Ramblings with Joe. It's Wednesday, and Skinny Kitty's okay. I feel like I should give you an update about that. He has grown old. So, he's an old cat. They can't see anything physically wrong with him. His liver levels were a bit elevated. I'm not sure what the medical term for that is, but the veterinarian told us to give him some antibiotics, and maybe that will fix that problem. But other than that, there's nothing we can do right now except feed him, let him get as fat as he wants to get, and give him whatever he wants to get to eat. Give him whatever he wants to eat. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to fatten up Skinny Kitty. That's the Skinny Kitty update. Now I'd like to move on to the portion of the program that I'd like to call Who Did What? Government shutdown. Let's start with that. I just want to read the headlines. It's hilarious, the range of headline news that is being put out. So let's just start at the top. This is Apple News, and it kind of has a lot of different sources that it pulls from Fox News. Opinion: Trump is using the government shutdown to do something no president has ever done. I would imagine that has to do with the reduction in force. I'm not going to go into the articles. I just don't want to. I've read a few of these. I just want to read the headlines this morning. Which major airports are refusing to show DHS shutdown video? Government shutdown news. That one about DHS was from ABC News. This is from Barron's. Government shutdown news. Trump set to close Democratic programs. Keep cutting jobs. And this is from New York. Let's see. I guess that's just the name of the magazine. New York. MTG, I guess that would be Senator Green, blows up GOP shutdown massacre with health care rant. Kansas politicians repeat national talking points on shutdown. That's the Topeka Capital Journal. And Connecticut Insider, thousands in Connecticut could lose SNAP WIC benefits if the shutdown persists. See town by town impact. The Atlantic, why Democrats think they're winning the shutdown fight. Kind of curious about that one myself. Government shutdown. This is from Burlington Free Press. Government shutdown is impacting Social Security, but will it impact October payments? And this goes on and on and on. The one thing that I would like to point out that every single one of these headlines have in common is the depth that the federal government is involved in everyday life. I mean, from a welfare all the way down to the Kansas politicians repeat national talking points on shutdown. Everything on here could be avoided, could be put aside if the states were doing the jobs that the federal government is doing. States, not the federal government, should be taking care of welfare. Why? So the states send their money to the government skims off some money and sends back some money to the states to hand out to welfare. Why? Why can't the states take care of that? It's just ridiculous the amount of influence the federal government has over our lives. I'm fairly certain this is not what the founding fathers had in mind. So we're about to enter 2 weeks of shutdown if we haven't already. And the Democrats are upset that President Trump is actually laying people off, as in firing them. They're not getting paid. And of course, they're going to sue and try and stop it. And on the lower level courts, I'm sure they're going to win. But as it escalates up to the Supreme Court, let's face it, the Supreme Court's a very conservative court. I'm sure they're going to lose at that point. Most people who voted for Trump wanted less immigration, illegal immigration, and more control over the government spending. I don't like the Democrats. I don't like the Democrats because they want to force their beliefs and opinions on everybody. As in, you will call me a woman, whether I am a woman or not. You will call me a woman. You will allow males, biological males, to play in female sports. I don't like it. It is not your job to ensure that I believe what you believe. And when you start telling me that a woman is a man and a man is a woman, you kind of lost me at that point. I don't like the Republicans because all they do is lip service. The ability to shut down the government and not pay out money is the first thing I've seen them do that might save us money. And the only way that they can do that is by laying people off, firing them. Reduction in force, RIF, whatever you want to call it. So the reduction in force is going into action. President Trump is shutting down. He's shutting down the Democrats' programs, the ones that he considers a failure and not working. I'm not sure how that's going to play out in the courts. I don't really care. I just want them to stop spending so much money we don't have. This is really, really easy math. If we don't have the money, we can't spend it. If we spend money we don't have, that means they're printing money or creating money out of whole cloth in the digital realm. That's a tax. That lessens the value of each dollar we have. So yeah, I don't like the Republicans because they're not actually reducing spending. They're not actually reducing taxes. What they are is the second political party of tax and spend. They just want to tax and spend on different line items or different programs. This all brings into question who shut down the government. The Democrats say the Republicans say the Democrats. Let's go to the source. The CR, the continuing resolution, clean. The Republicans didn't add anything to it. They didn't take anything away from it. This is just as a matter of spending. They're going to spend exactly the same thing that they've been spending, which is from the Biden administration. There's nothing different. It's everything that well, it's not everything, but it was from the Biden administration's spending bills. The Democrats want to add to that Obamacare. They wish to continue spending to pay for Obamacare, and the Republicans are saying, no, we want a clean resolution. We want this to continue through November. So all the Republicans, I'm speaking in generalities now, all the Republicans voted to pass a continuing resolution to continue to spend at the levels that the Democrats wanted under Biden. The Democrats voted no because they want to add to the bill. So the Democrats voted to shut down the government. Every no vote is a vote to shut down the government. And at first I wasn't all right with that because after I investigated a little bit, I found out that, well, they're not actually saving any money. They're going to cost some money because they've got to pay all these people back payments. And how do they lose money? People who are no longer working at the federal government and are furloughed will be receiving assistance. Well, that whole program gets money from the government, the federal government. So the federal government is going to pay the state governments. This is not free. I understand that the state governments will probably have to pay this back, and that the some of the federal employees have to pay back a portion. That's not free. Every person that has to deal with those programs is getting paid on both the federal and the state level. So that's not free. This is not inexpensive either. This is expensive. Federal employees and state employees are expensive. That's the number one cost for any organization, whether it's private or public. When President Trump started cutting people through the RIF, reduction in force, I started feeling a little bit better about the shutdown because now we are reducing the amount of people who are going to get back pay. I understand they're going to sue, and they may win. They may find out that what President Trump is doing is against policy, against some kind of law that they've established. But at least he's trying to reduce the workforce in the federal government. The Democrats voted to shut down the federal government. The Republicans voted to continue spending at the level we were at. Not happy about that. Don't want them spending at the same level. I would have preferred for the Republicans to come out and say, pick a number. Let's go with a very small number. 5% reduction across the board. Wow, that would have been great. That would have been outstanding. But that's not what they did. What they did was they said, let's continue spending at the same rate we're spending now. And the Democrats said, no, we want to spend more. We want to continue spending for Obamacare, which is set to expire in December by the people who put Obamacare in place. So the Democrats, well, they put a program in place set to expire in December, and now they're upset that it's going to expire. They want to continue it. So they have forced the issue into the continuing resolution bill. The Democrats voted to shut down the government. It's really that simple. The Democrats voted no to the continuing resolution, and the government shut down. Now, the Democrats are saying to the Republicans, if you really want the government to reopen, you can use the nuclear option. Let's talk about the nuclear option. The nuclear option is so that what they do in the Senate is the majority change the rules so that they don't need 60 votes to pass a bill, the CR. They only need 51%, which they have. The Democrats have stated, hey, just use the nuclear option. That's what they want, because that will feed right back into their scenario of the Republicans are running roughshod over them. And the Republicans, much to their credit, I believe that they're doing the right thing by not using the nuclear option and not saying that they should, override the Senate rules. Great. Just let it ride. The Democrats are so foolish with the money that they need to continue to be called out. The Democrats voted to shut down the government because the Democrats are still voting to shut down the government. I think they've had over 20 votes now for the continuing resolution. Keep in mind, that's the same amount of money that has been spent since Biden, and they said no. This is on them. This is not on the Republicans. I'm not happy with the Republicans because they didn't do a reduction in spending, an actual reduction in spending. Remember, Republicans, you are the smaller government political party. You're not acting like it anymore. That's the shutdown scenario in my mind. To my friends who are headline readers, dig a little bit deeper and get the facts, because the facts are easy to get. Continuing resolution, clean. That's what the Republicans are offering. Not happy about it. I don't think it should be a continuing resolution. I think they should come out with a budget that cuts spending across the board, everywhere. But that's not going to happen as long as we have Republicans and Democrats in power. Trump pushed through the Middle East deal. The Abraham Accords are a thing. They're a good thing. And Trump did that during his last administration. Whether the Biden administration, the people behind the scenes, will say the words Abraham Accords or not, they exist. Trump did it. And now Trump has got peace. And the people of Israel, have you seen the videos of the Israelis who are just rejoicing that Trump was involved and got the peace deal put through? And just wow, man. This is awesome. People aren't dying on the daily right now. Great. I'm sure that the left will find a way to pick this apart. That's what they do. They claim to be the party of peace, but they're not. They are the party of war, which used to be the moniker that they would hang around the necks of the Republicans, but now that's not true. I am rambling this morning. As you can tell, I have a lot of the values that the Republicans give lip service to, and I have much disdain for the Democrats. I have almost the same amount of disdain for the Republicans, but the Republicans at least do give good lip service to their beliefs. Now, if they just live up to it, life would be a lot better for everyone. That's why I'm a libertarian. Liberty, freedom. That's what every decision should be based on within the government realm. It is Wednesday, middle of the week. We're heading toward the hump. Life in general is okay. Hopefully, we can get the tendrils of the government out of our lives so that we can have as much freedom as possible. Freedom to disagree with each other. Freedom to disagree with each other. That's what freedom of speech is. Freedom of speech is not the ability to agree with one another. Who cares if you agree? There's no new information coming from me saying, yep, you're right. Freedom of speech is the ability to vocalize your disagreement with someone else. If they want to listen. If they don't want to listen, then they should move on. Or you should move on. But it shouldn't be illegal. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday. I hope you go out and I hope you find peace, love, and dream. Until next time, ciao.